Hello and welcome to the first health episode of Callum Smiles Media. Now, I must say at the very beginning, I'm not a doctor, so I probably know more than them. No, I'm joking. Well, actually, some in the past few years I have looked at and thought, bloody hell, I think I know more than you. But that's because I don't let my eyes deceive me. So today I'm going to be talking about Suncream, as it is a really nice summer's day here in the United Kingdom, which means it's pissing it down. But one of the things I want to be talking about, one of the reasons I want to be talking about Suncream as we are now leading up to the summer holidays with schools, is actually just how damaging this stuff can be. So one of the things people say with sun cream is you need sun cream to protect your skin, to prevent you getting burned, to prevent you getting skin cancer. However, this stuff is widely available, and so much of it has been sold across the world in recent history. So melanoma, one of the most deadliest skin cancers, it has tripled. The numbers of melanoma has tripled over the last 3 decades, which is one of the first things that makes me start to ask questions in regards to this stuff. Because if so much of this is being used and bought and used, why have those levels increased? Well, could it be that there are ingredients in there that potentially cause cancer? So, sun cream can also inhibit vitamin D production. The human body can create vitamin D through synthesizing sunlight and cholesterol. Now, you might often hear that cholesterol is bad. Well, don't believe everything they tell you in the news, because the body needs sunlight to synthesize with cholesterol to create vitamin D. Unfortunately, especially in countries like the United Kingdom, you do need to supplement vitamin D, especially through the winter. But a common misconception is that people will just get vitamin D supplements, when if you take things like vitamin D3, you actually need K2 as well. The D3 basically is what your body needs to absorb calcium. However, without K2, your body can actually deposit that calcium in the arteries. The K2 tells your body to absorb it into the bones. Now, there's lots of well known in the actual scientific world and those who look into this sort of thing, but there are substances in lots of over-the-counter sun creams that are highly carcinogenic. It's not a myth, it's not a guess. It's been proven, or rather there is very strong evidence showing this is the case. For example, oxybenzone. Now, this is found in about 60% of sun creams around the planet. And oxybenzone, it can release free radicals into the body, adding to the development of skin cancer. Now, in places like the Caribbean and Hawaii, they have sun all year round, yet their skin cancer levels are actually quite low, but they often use things like coconut oil. And coconut oil is full of great nutrients and has so many uses, whether it is slapping it on the body and using it as a moisturizer, or even cooking with it. There is so much you can do with coconut oil. I even know some people that use it as a deodorant. Personally, I use car greens, and you can buy it here. They don't even actually sponsor me. I just think their products are incredible. So the time of day also affects burning when it comes to sunburn. It is believed the most optimum time to absorb sunlight, to synthesize your own, create your own vitamin D, is in the early evening. It's at its strongest and most likely to burn you throughout the middle of the day, which most people would just think is a given anyway. And you need the UVA to create vitamin D. So seed oils can cause, well, I say can cause, they do cause oxidative stress, which then creates inflammation. And you get this from, well, you get more of this inflammation and oxidization from polyunsaturated fats. Now, we need saturated fats because there are some vitamins that are only soluble in fat. For example, well, I say for example, that is D, A, K, and E. DAKE, your DAKE vitamins. So it's when the sunlight, the UVA, reacts with the cholesterol or the vitamins in the cholesterol, that is when we start to create vitamin D. So it's UVB which causes the oxidative stress, when that reacts with the unsaturated fat, and that breaks down, that causes inflammation, and then that can cause the damage to the collagen. It's the collagen that helps us recycle things like our skin cells. And you know, if you the older you get, the less collagen your body can make, and that's where you see people start to age. So let's go on to Nivea Sun. Now, one of the first things I noticed with Nivea and Evian water is that it's actually an acronym of naive, which is one of the first things that gets me thinking. Now, it says here, protect and moisture. Protects healthy skin from inside and outside. So let's actually look into some of these ingredients and see if it does exactly that. So there are lots of ingredients in this, and for me that's actually the most concerning part, just as to how many ingredients are in this. Secondly, the amount of ingredients that are incredibly difficult to say. If they're difficult to say, you probably don't know exactly what it is they do. So I'm just going to go through a few of them. I'm not going to go through all of them. However, if in future this is something that interests the viewers, I can go through all the ingredients. But ideally, what I want you to do is I want you to start doing this yourself at home. So, isopropyl palmitate. I don't know if I'm saying it right. So this is an alcohol-based chemical, and the alcohol is absorbed into the skin. So that's already a concerning factor, especially when it comes to pregnant women and children. How much alcohol do we want absorbing into the skin? Alcohol itself is a poison. So why do we want it absorbing into our skin, especially with children and pregnant women? Glycerin. Now, this is an interesting one. So glycerin is a sugar-based alcohol. However, it can also be synthetic. The synthetic can be made with lots of toxic chemicals, such as allyl chloride, which causes toxic polyneuropathy, which is multiple nerve damage. That's if you have extended exposure, but it varies with every single person. If made from veg, the concern here is what was that veg grown in? Was it grown in with pesticides, herbicides, fertilizer with toxic chemicals in? All these things matter. There is C12 and C15 allyl benzoate. Now, it appears to be one of the safer chemicals until it comes into contact with vitamin C, which then converts to benzene. Now, benzene is a well-known, highly carcinogenic substance. But the interesting thing here is actually vitamin C. There is evidence that suggests that vitamin C is really good when it comes to battling cancer. However, on the more rare occasions, in this case, it can actually add to the causing of cancer by converting this allyl benzoate into benzene. So alcohol denat. It's basically denatured alcohol. Denatured alcohol, now when it was 1,000 milligrams or a gram to a kilogram in rats, it showed no short-term problems. However, at half a gram or 500 milligrams to a kilogram, as in per kilogram of weight for the animal, in mice it showed decreased motor activity, and at 1 gram, 1,000 milligrams, all of the mice in the study died. So let's now look at butyl. I'll write it here. Difficult one to say. Now this, when absorbed, can mimic hormones. So that, disrupts our own hormonal system. And in these studies of Kraus et al., hope I'm saying that right, in 2012, and in Schlumpf 2001 and 2008, it showed this. It showed exactly that it can mimic hormones and cause hormonal disruption. Now, it's also found in the Schlumpf studies of 2008 and 2010, it showed levels of these chemicals, these hormone mimicking chemicals, in breast milk, and it was 85% of Suncream ingredients. At least one of those ingredients in the Suncream was found in 85% of breast milk. So let's go back to things like the alcohol, or maybe where the benzoate has become the benzene, and then this is then being absorbed into a much more vulnerable child. Butylate glycol. So in a 1985 study, it showed it had negative effects on developing rats. So that kind of goes back to the previous one when it comes to the effect it can have on newborns. Ethyl hexyl. This one. So it's a UV filter which also has endocrine disrupting properties. And I'm going to go on to the last one that I've been taking notes on. So again, I'm not going to go through all of them, but in the future, if you want me to do this, I will do exactly that. Titanium dioxide. Now, titanium dioxide has been many talking points of lawsuits and negative impacts on health around the world for quite a while. However, as you may have come to notice in the past few years, a lot of things are suppressed. So titanium dioxide is both used. It's an incredible thing. It can be used in so much. It can be used in paint as a primer, and it appears to be used in food and sun creams. Its abilities show no bounds. So Skittles were sued for having this in their food and the fact that it was causing lots and lots of health problems. So it's titanium dioxide. The whole idea of this is to be absorbed into the skin and to filter the UV rays. However, it is a photocatalytic. So it reacts to the sunlight. So, and when it reacts to the sunlight, it can cause damage to cells and proteins. So, when they say wear sun cream to prevent sunburn, to prevent skin cancer, the question we must all be asking is, why is melanoma on the rise, despite so many people throughout the summer months slapping that on, and you'll see it wherever you go across the world. Why are these rates going up? And more importantly, why does something need that many ingredients? Especially when a lot of these ingredients are known to be carcinogens. So does that make sense? Slap on carcinogenic substances to prevent cancer. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. So this is the first one of my health episodes. If you enjoy this, please give it a share. If you find it informative, please give it a share. Please do tune into all the other stuff, whether it's the satirical political comedy to bring light and to bring your attentions to problems across the world with political issues, or if you just want to hear the other side of stories when it comes to stuff in the mainstream media. Please like, share, subscribe, and check out the linktree for all our other links. Oh, and also I use Badger sun cream. It doesn't have many ingredients in it, which is exactly why I use it. It is zinc oxide based. It's designed to sit on the skin. But also I actually try and expose myself to the sun as much as possible. to try and build up a tolerance, try and create my own vitamin D. And one of the things you need to do is avoid seed oils. Seed oils are toxic. See you next time.